not be able to stay home, brother.
Family, what's going on?
You will not be
To
able
a
to
special
plug in.
edition of the Millennial Masterclass podcast. Today, we're just having a little open discussion, things that we didn't quite have time to talk about on the show. Because given that it is Black History Month, we want to take some time to have some conversations on things that surround the culture, things that we feel. Because I mean, when this originally started in Black History Month, it was Black History Week, right? And then it evolved and became Black History Month. So, let's talk about. I'm just saying, because Cardi G. Woodson, man, when he passed, I mean, that was a loss for Black folks, just straight up. So we want to take some time to kind of talk about that evolution. And then starting with, I mean, the most important question, how do we feel about just being called Black? Like, how do we feel about the diaspora? How do we feel? Like, let's just talk about it. Let's just have an open forum. So let's start there. How do we feel about the term Black? Like, when you hear the term Black, do you feel like that is what you are? Or do you feel that it doesn't quite get at what you are as a person? Like, do you feel like that? Like, because Black is not a monolith. You know what I'm saying? At this point, it's like, do we even need the term Black? Should it be something else?
I would say that I prefer Black over African American, at least for myself.
But why though? That's the question.
I think that if I had a deeper connection to my African roots, I wouldn't feel like I would feel different, but since I don't even know where my family came from in Africa, I did the ancestry DNA thing, but that thing be changing versus
I'm scared of that.
Like,
I just feel like the FBI is coming.
That I wasn't. It's like I'm still claiming Nigerian, but whatever. I actually all day. But if I actually knew where my family came from in Africa, I feel like maybe I'll have a deeper connection to the term African American. But for now, I prefer Black.
I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with what Sean is saying. I actually prefer Black. I just always have. Not only with what Sean was saying about the whole African connection part, but just the American part. When you think about all our ancestors did for this country and how we're still being treated today, it just doesn't feel like we belong, honestly. It kind of feels like we're in this limbo area where it's like we're not African enough to say we're African, and then we could say we're American because we were born here and live here, but at the same time we're not treated as American citizens who are valued, you know what I'm saying, who are welcome and treated equally, like we never have been. So it's kind of like catch-22. We don't really know where we belong. So I think just saying we're Black just kind of encompasses who we are. We're Black,
I just feel like it's always whenever I think about ours, stature as Americans, or just in general, in the world, I guess. And I always think about a family, right, that had a kid, right? It was a mother, father had one kid, right? They got divorced, have two other families now, and now you're like, damn, where do I fit in?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're dope. You've done all kind of dope stuff. But where do you fit in? So I don't know. I've just kind of always thought about that. I have no issue with the term Black. It's just that am I a fucking color? I just feel like nobody else is red. Nobody's really yellow.
Caucasians are white.
Right, but that's because they made the shit up. You know what I'm saying? They were the ones, Black ass. Right. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, we are the champions of taking stuff.
Brown ass.
I would prefer brown. I mean, I'm
caramel.
Go ahead, talk about it.
I am caramel.
But then when you say brown peoples, I feel like everybody else want to work their way in there. Other folks that have that brown hue. Right. And look, I ain't mad at it. Hands across
everybody
the
brown.
Beautiful. Mm-hmm. Right. But you kind of want to be how do we talk about us? And it's just is Black the only way? I just feel like there's a better term. I just don't know it. I guess that's what I'm saying. There is a better term. I just don't know what it is.
We need to open that crown box. They got a new crown box with just all the nude and browns and stuff kind of colors. So we need to look in the crown box and see what actually matches us. And it just
I thought you said crown like Crown Royal. I was like, girl, what are you talking about?
Crayon.
What is the crown gonna do for us?
I'm from Texas, so I say crayon, but crayon.
What's the Leslie?
Huh?
What is it?
It's crayons.
It's okay. That's great. Look,
I'm sorry because I had to use context too because I thought you said crown as well, and
I thought you meant Crown Royal. I was like, girl, what is that? What does this whiskey have to do with
crown box? Is this a
Black folk don't even own that shit? What are you talking about?
Crowns, they're crowns. Don't talk about my Texas self. They're crowns.
That's beautiful. It was wonderful, man. Shout out to the 254. But but given that question though, because it's like, okay, so you don't like it, so what else is it? It's like, is it another color, or maybe it's not a color? Maybe it's, maybe there's something else. Like I don't know the term. Maybe we need to talk to somebody else who knows the term.
I mean, maybe we what you said. Maybe we should come up with a new term that's not Black, that's not African American. That's something that really like feels like it fits. I don't know. I don't even know if that would catch on because either or.
The reason I have the issue with Black is because Black for so many things is a negative connotation. Like so many different things is a negative connotation. I mean, like, oh, that's really Black. Like in Lord of the Rings, they call it the Black speech. I mean, it's not just to hate on Lord of the Rings, but I'm just saying, like, Black is looked at bad. Like somebody's got to wear the black hat. That's the bad guy. The Black Knight, the bad guy. I'm
Black
just saying,
cat.
like, what kind of shit is this? Like, Black is
what? Mm-hmm. If you see Black cat is bad luck,
right? So. Like all kind of shit, and it's just like, But the thing about it is that when I call that out, everybody's like, well, you know the difference. No, I don't think you do, because that is ingrained in your brain to think that. So then when you see a Black man, now you're automatically like, ooh, I need to watch out for that nigga. What? No. That's insane. That's why I'm saying it needs to be something else. But then white, on the other hand, is purity. It's all of that. And so and those things are important. I mean, they've showed you that from the Brown versus Board of Education test with the dolls and everything else. Like that stuff sticks in your brain. I just feel like there is a better term. That's just my thing. I don't know what it is, but we need a better term.
But even if we change the term and came up with a new one, like I feel like it will still always be Black or African American. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like some people may start using a new term, but ultimately people are stuck in their ways. Clearly, because we're still treated a certain type of way, even though it's 2022. So I just feel like even if we came up with a new word and tried to like make it all grand and
I have a two-parter
beautiful, it's like it will still be what it is.
Negro.
Yeah, people still call Black people colored. Like what in 2022?
I mean, honestly, low key, sometimes I'd be like, well, that's a little more accurate, but like I mean, that's a little more accurate. Like you can't say that shit, but it's a little more accurate. Like I just feel like, should we just be like those with extreme melanin? And then some of us don't even have extreme melanin. Look at Steph Curry. That nigga's melanin isn't all that popping. I mean, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Let me not hate on Steph Curry. That's not what I'm saying.
Melanated light or light melanin.
Are you not
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Do you know what's really funny? So like you have like the melanin hat with like the Friends font, right? I remember I got one. I ordered offline from Dead Hat to wherever the fuck I got it from, and I took a snap and I sent it to my mother, and I was like, "Yeah, Ma, look at that, rocking it, right?" And I think it was like February when I got it too, and she sent a snap back, right? But she was like half asleep when she did this. And she was like, melanin, but boy, you don't have none. I'm confused.
Like, I'm roasting you.
Thanks, Ma.
To make yourself feel better. Now she was wide awake.
And she was right to sleep after that. She was like, she said, I sent you a snap. I don't remember that, boy. What snap did I send you? Thanks, Ma. For one thing, what do you put on the census when they ask you like Black, or like when you go to employment? Like, what do you put on there? Because I know me, I put stolen African. That's what I put on there. Like, I don't even, I do. Yes, I do. I do it for everything now because it's not true. I'm not fucking African American. I'm not Black. Like, fuck that shit. Like, I'm stolen. I'm stolen.
Like Black, not Hispanic, non-Hispanic or something like that. Like,
and Hispanic not even a real fucking term. That's some shit they made up in the 70s. I don't get it.
Why does that have to be non-Hispanic or Hispanic? Like, I don't get it. Like, I guess it's the same because like Dominicans and Puerto Ricans and how they're Black and Hispanic. Is that why we have to do like?
But the thing is that Hispanic is a term they made up in like the 70s and applied it to the census. That's what I'm saying. Some white people shit. Like most Latin folks don't even subscribe to that. They'll be Latinx. They'll be something else. Like, But okay. But the two-parter with this is that okay. And then also, Ye, the other day, he was on, I think it's Drink Champs or something. He was talking about getting out of the victim mentality, right? Mm-hmm. Where like, because we are low-key, I'm not even low-key, high profile. We are a victim of some of the most horrible atrocities, in time. And then are so. But he was saying that we need to get out of that mentality because that's not how you have power, because you can't feel powerful and be a victim at the same time.
Okay.
Because well, think about that. I mean, how are you gonna be a victim? How are you gonna be powerful and then feel powerless? Like that's an oxymoron right there. So I guess what I'm saying is that, well, first off, what do you guys put on the census, like when you, or like a job application when you fill it out? What do you put on there?
I really put Black.
You just put Black? Y'all don't be put something else. I put something else. I'm like,
no, I do Black and then a non-Hispanic.
Or I check 2 or more races or something. Just what? I'm not incorrect. I am not incorrect. Look, if I was truly this black, they would call it I would be trash bag black. My skin would look like the night. That is not the case.
Not the night.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Look, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying that clearly the bloodline has been watered down. That's all I'm saying. That's it. Like, is my last name not Neil Harris? Like, what? Somebody owned us. That's all I'm saying.
Facts. Yeah, you're not wrong. It's just so funny how you put stolen African. Like, what? They
what is
out, like?
I feel like that's more correct than what they term us. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, yeah, but I just feel like if they see that, they're like, oh, the rest of the information is not going to be worth anything, so we're just going to throw his out. Like,
technically, they can't. Technically, by the way the law is set up, that's the part they can't not hire you for or fire you for. So, like, doesn't matter what I put there because it's how I identify. Because it's all like those self-identified things. So whether it be like demisexual or asexual or black or whatever, which is crazy, they lump all that shit together. But that's what I'm saying. They can't get you you can't be fired for that. They can't not look at you for that. For real. But okay, but back to that though. Do you think that we carry a victim's mentality on us though? And do you think that impedes like our progress really in anything in this country?
I would say I don't, so no.
I think there's still, plenty of, systems in place that will always hold us down. I don't think it's necessarily us and our mentality, because I think, especially like over the last like 10 plus years, with our type of generation, I feel like we are like really trying to like buck the system and like really just trying to make a better life, not only for ourselves, but for our kids to come. But I just feel like there are still these old systems in place that will forever like not allow us to get to a certain point. So I don't even think it's us being victims. I think we are like taking our lives by the reins and like, no, we're not standing for this no more. But there's still greater powers that be. There's still all these like higher powers as far as like within the government and politics and stuff like that. And within our economic system that are forever going to hold us to at a certain level and won't allow us to excel. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's necessarily us playing victim.
I don't necessarily think playing victim. I just feel like sometimes some things are so deeply rooted in your mind that you do them without even realizing it. That's what I'm saying. I don't necessarily mean that we're like, oh my God, woe was me, the white man didn't, all of that. I just mean like, because we've been conditioned so that we only think about these things. That's what I'm
right. And then like, in turn, we just accept things to just be because of how we learn them to be, type of thing.
Exactly. That's what I mean. And I just feel like I feel like we do kind of have that, because there are things we maybe not necessarily try, things we don't do because we're like, oh, that's white folks' business, that's stuff like that. And in reality, it's not. It's just business. It's just whatever, Yeah. But that's because we've been conditioned to do that. I'm just saying, man, that mental shit is strong, man. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
That's right. Because I know everybody don't like Ye, but like he makes some good points, y'all. Y'all should listen to what Ye talking about sometimes.
And I feel like we covered a little bit when we were talking about that Dream Chance interview, where like he did make some good points, but at the same time, he goes off on a tangent, on a deep end. And sometimes the points that he make, they're good in theory, but he can do that because of who he is. You know what I'm saying? Like when he talked about like going overseas, and he didn't go with any type of like clothes or luggage, but then he stopped by I forgot which famous designer it was, and they gave him clothes and this, that, and the third. It's like, you're Ye. So yes, people are going to give you whatever you need. But had I gone across, the water without anything, it's like I would just have to buy what I needed. Or
actually, you probably wouldn't have made it because they would have flagged you as a terrorist. Because generally, if you go across I'll tell you a funny story. So, lady, she was
flagged as a terrorist.
No, not me.
Oh,
No. This is a coworker of mine from the past. Anyway, she was going home because she lived in Germany. And she would commute from time to time. So she went to Germany with just a backpack, and she was going for like 3 weeks. Well, she had clothes there. So then she got flagged for like 3 or 4 hours because they were like, "Ma'am, what are you doing? Go to Germany with just a backpack." It's like, you don't need any other clothes. Well, I live there. Do you? So then I don't think she had like her German license or something on her. She just had her American passport. So like that was a whole thing. But yeah, you probably get flagged. They wouldn't even let you go through. DHS wouldn't let it happen.
Exactly. So it's like what he was saying sounds good in theory, but when it comes to regular people like us, it's not going to work that way for us. You know what I'm saying? So
no, I feel that. But like the thing is that at one point in time, he was a regular person, like a for real regular person, like in Chicago, struggling.
Far removed from that, though.
Now, now, but like for a minute,
he wasn't doing what he's doing now back then. So he had to get to a certain status.
Right. But I think that's his point. You can get to the status. I think that's
everybody's not going to get to know Ye status.
No, everybody's not going to do that. Not at all. No, not at all. You're absolutely right. I'm just saying
some people are just meant to be like ordinary, and that's fine. And then some people are extraordinary, and that's fine. But it's like, and not everybody is going to be able to excel and do all this great stuff, you know what I'm saying, or be afforded these, you know, great opportunities, or be able to, like I said, to go across seas with nothing and just be gifted with all this luxury. It's like, no, it's just Ye.
No, I feel that. That's super real. So then, well, then that's a good time. So what are our thoughts on the culture vultures, on cultural appropriation? Like, do you feel like it's still a thing, or do we feel like it's something that people make a big deal out of for no reason? What do we think?
I mean, we as Black people, African Americans, Africans, Caribbeans, whatever of the diaspora, we have always influenced everything. You know what I'm saying? People are constantly taking from our cultures, taking from, you know, our ancestors, what we've always done, and trying to like repackage it and rebrand it as their own. So I don't unfortunately see that stopping anytime soon. You see it all the time when it comes to like fashion and like beauty and like stuff that, you know, these designers do for the models, and you're like, oh, this new, like with the whole Kim thing when she had like the cornrow thing or whatever, you know, trying to rebrand it as like this new.
I mean, she wasn't the first to do that. I mean, we can go back to Bo Derek, who did it back in the 79, back in the movie 10. So,
exactly. So what I'm saying is, it's like these white folks or non-people of color, however you want to say it, they come and they like swoop in and act like this new thing that they invented, when it's like, no, like our people have been doing this since before before America, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's rooted in our heritage and our ancestors, stuff like that. So it's like, I don't see it going anywhere, because we're the prototype. Like, everybody wants to be Black until it's time to be Black. You know what I'm saying? They want to look like us. They want to model their bodies like us. They want to, you know, have our, you know, swag and our culture and stuff. But it's like, when it's actually time to be Black and like fight for our rights and speak up for us and the injustices we experience, then they go quiet. They ain't got nothing to say.
I mean,
or it's not my business. You know what I'm saying?
I think Paul Mooney said it best.
This is not 19, whatever, you know, like, no, these things are still happening. So like you said, like, we are the culture. So, I mean, that's just the end all be all. We are the culture. And I think that you said, what do you think that cultural appropriation is still a thing?
Not necessarily just still a thing, but like, do you think it's as prevalent as it has been in the past?
Absolutely. And I feel like with these fucking new age kids, they're making it seem like it's not much of a thing anymore, but no. It absolutely is, because Black people are still denied jobs for the way they look, for their hair, for just whatever they do.
Their name.
You won't even get in the door having a certain name. So I mean, yeah, it's definitely still relevant today, and I don't like that people are acting like it's a thing of the past.
Right.
Okay, I feel that. I always feel like Paul Mooney said it best. He said people want to sing, dance, and hip hop niggas. Sing, dance, and hip hop with niggas. But when it's time to go to jail, they run away every time.
Exactly. Everybody want to be Black till it's time to be Black. Simple as that.
I mean,
I put that on a t-shirt.
I mean, that probably exists, but we can definitely roll that into Millennial Masterclass merch.
She made something new.
Well, I don't think the simple as that is on there. So everybody wants to be Black till it's time to be Black. It's as simple as that. Boom.
Okay, all right. Like I said, we can roll that right into the merch. Roll that right into the merch.
Period. Don't y'all feel that? I got a person who's working on it right now.
So then, wow. Okay, she got somebody in the works. So then, in that case, what do we think we need to do to make ourselves stronger as a community then? Right? That's that question right there. That's the damn.
I don't know.
Like, it's like, because the thing is that, like, you're talking about building generational wealth, but how do we do that together? You know, like I feel like is there one industry we can all get into and just be like, this is what we're gonna do? Because it ain't the entertainment industry. Because people, once you're in there, people go so hard they don't want to help each other because you're like, I got my spot, so now I gotta keep it. You know, so it's very
saying things like building generational wealth. You are mainly talking about for yourself, for your family, not really Black as a collective. So I mean, yes, that's beneficial, and I mean, just I guess that's still good because creating opportunities for more Black people, opening doors for Black people in all realms, definitely is the way I think we should go with it. But just saying, oh, I'm going to build generational wealth, that's just kind of about your family. That ain't really about everybody else.
But is that a good start though? Like, I think in order to improve the masses,
go ahead.
In order to like improve the masses, doesn't things have to like start within yourself and then within your family, within your circle, within
the change you want to see?
Yeah, it's like exactly, pretty much, because it's like it's great to think like you can change things on a grand scale, but if you're not doing things right here with yourself and then with your circle, then it's like it's null and void. You really do have to start with yourself.
I just feel like that becomes part of a larger problem, which becomes then, is it a race issue or is it a class issue? Because now you're saying that if we were to just elevate everybody's class, then we're not going to have any issues. You know what I mean? So then like, and so at that point, like, what are we talking about?
I think it's both. It's both race and a class issue.
It is. No, it for sure is. But it's like, where do we draw the line? You know,
I feel like, number one, we have to make it equal for everybody as far as like resources and opportunity. Like, but it's like, how do we do that? Right? It sounds good, but it's like, how do we do that? And then I feel like all these racist folks just need to die off and just kind of start fresh with a new batch.
But if we remember it, racism, we have to die off too. That's the thing. Anybody that remembers it has to die off too.
Like, I feel like we're reactive. So like if I'm cool, and this is me personally, I'm cool with everybody, but if you coming at me away or your vibe is off, then I'm gonna react to that and I'm gonna know how to move accordingly. So as long as no one's being racist to me, I'm cool. I'm not about to start nothing, even though I remember, but I'm not about to start it. So I just feel like all these racist people need to die off, start with a new batch who ain't learned racism, and then everybody who like me, it's the Gemini me, I'm able to adapt to who I'm around. So as long as you cool, we gonna be cool. That's what I think.
I mean, you're not wrong. I just feel like anybody that has it in their mind, it can get there at some point because those prejudices, like, they're ingrained. So again, it's like everybody has to die, and we let that new crop of children kind of raise themselves.
Well, I ain't die. Don't start none, won't be none. How about that? And we good.
Do we still need Black History Month? Like, do we feel like it's still something that, because now, you know, a lot of people feel like, why just relegate my history to 1 month? I mean, you got schools saying you don't even have to participate in Black history, when in reality, Black history is just American history. It's world history. It's just history. It's herstory, if you want to go that route. But that's what I'm saying. Like, there's just like, is there a need for a Black History Month just to put spotlight on this? Do we need? Yes.
I think it's like any other month. You have the AAPI month, you have Pride month, you have like all these different months. Those
have come way after Black History Month. That's what I'm saying.
That's fine. But now everybody has a month. We have March is Women's History Month with International Women's Day. Like, everybody has a month now, so it doesn't hurt, right? So yes, fine. Keep the month. That's cool. But to your point, we need to be learning this just outside of February. We need to be learning about our Black history every day, not just us as Black people, African Americans, Africans, whatever you want to label us as, but everybody needs to be learning it. So that goes into the conversation about the whole critical race theory, which is a hot topic right now and stuff. But no, to your point, everybody needs to learn about, like you said, our history. It's not just Black history, it's America's history, right? World history. We need to learn it each and every day, but having a specific month dedicated to it does not hurt, because everybody has a month now. So I don't think we should do it.
But I'm saying now everybody has a month. I'm just saying, like, you don't have like and then like it gets tricky between like ethnicities and things, because you have like a Pacific Islander Heritage Month, and I'm just like, I don't even know what I'm looking at.
I mean, we got National Donut Day, National Margarita Day. So it's
a day, but that's a day. That ain't a whole month. You know what I mean?
But like I said, we have Pride Month, we have AAPI Month, Women's History Month, and I'm sure there's
what is AAPI Month? You said that a couple of times. What is that?
Asian Islander Pacific month, something
Oh,
like
that's
that.
what I was just talking about. Pacific. Yeah. Okay. There we
Yeah,
go.
Pacific Islander.
Yeah. All right.
So it's like everybody has a month now, so it's not gonna hurt just continue with the Black History Month. But like to your point, everybody should be learning about our history on a daily basis because it's all of our history, not just Black history.
Correct.
So,
I mean, if you've ever driven
you're
a
correct as
car
well.
and stopped at a stoplight, you are a part of Black history.
Exactly. Peanut
know?
butter, everything that's out here we created. We are the shiz naive.
Yeah. So no. I feel what you're saying on that. I mean, it's definitely, I can't say that it's a bad thing to have a Black History Month. I can't say that I don't enjoy it, especially because it really kind of forces me to really think back. Like not that I'm not always thinking back, just because I enjoy so many figures from our history that have done so many different things. But like, I guess it kind of forces everybody to look back. And honestly, I feel like people kind of come together for this month, like it's just Black History Month. It's, this is what we've done. This is where we've come. And then where are we going,
I
So
definitely appreciate Black History Month. I think that it's very important for us to know our history, right? And especially for the kids still in school. What I wish that the curriculum is so goddamn old. Like, why are we only always talking about MLK and Malcolm X? Like, can we update this curriculum? Can we talk about some unsung Black heroes? Like, can we do some of that? I just feel like we just do the same thing every year. And that's why people are just like over it. Basically, that's how I feel. People are just like, bro, I'm tired of hearing about Rosa Parks. Like, so that's why they just stopped caring.
she's probably
about
one of
it.
my least favorites in Black. Actually, do you know what's crazy about Rosa Parks?
Rosa Parks
What
is
least
your
favorite.
Blacks? What the fuck are you talking? What?
least favorite figures in Black history.
These are not the views of the entire Millennial Masterclass.
Rosa Parks, one of my least favorite Blacks.
Okay, I'm sorry. I had to swallow. I didn't
finish.
finish that sentence, but look, the point is this. But actually, what I found out about Rosa Parks, not so much her as an older woman, when she was younger, Rosa Parks was like damn near like a civil rights spy. It was crazy. Like she would go down and she would interview like people that were victims of like assault and like rape and like all type of lynchings and everything. She was the one doing that investigative reporting. Like actually when Racy Taylor got raped in like Mississippi or something like that, she was the one that like snuck into Mississippi and they knew she was coming and they like tried to like stop her. And I'm saying Rosa Parks' story as a younger woman is so much more fascinating than her on the bus. So much more fascinating than her on that bus. Like because they were I'm just saying Rosa Parks, like I would love to see a Rosa Parks movie because that is so then actually I guess I need to ask two more questions before we get out of here then. One, how do we feel about this critical race theory nonsense? And then also, yeah, great. Roll your eyes. That's a good one. And then two, what is a movie you would love to see made about something Black in Black history?
Oh, that's a good one.
All I have is an eye roll. Like,
because
people, and that's so strange.
I just want to address something real quick. So then, like, do we even believe in like race as a thing? You know what I mean? Like, do we even believe in it? Because, like, I mean, that's just a term that we subscribe to.
It's
like,
a
what is your
yeah.
race? Like, it's a construct. It's just something that, like, okay, this is what it is to kind of keep people like in line to some degree. So then you can try and identify people with what you think you have. In reality, you may be identifying them totally incorrectly. So that's what I'm saying. So it's like, but then like them teaching that in class, like that's what I'm saying. I'm just kind of torn about it because it's like it's not even really real, but at the same time, we need to know. And it's like I don't.
I mean, it's like you said, it's a construct, but at this point, and with our history, yes, it needs to be taught. We need to learn about it because it's been made real, if that makes sense, with the history that we have. This whole critical race thing, it's just another way for white folks to control their narrative and how they're presented and how they look, and they want to, make history how they want it to be versus what it actually was.
Good old revisionist history.
Yeah, so it's just annoying because it's just, once again, they're just trying to control everything when it's like, I mean, but regardless of what happens with that, I do think it's up to the people, then, individual parents to make sure that their kids know. But of course, all parents aren't going to do that because different circumstances, different resources, different type of family households and stuff like that. But ultimately, it is up to the parents to make sure that their kids are learning, the truth and what actually happened in history, because, leave it to these schools. They won't be teaching anything but some bubblegum, flowers and daisies crap, Yeah.
I feel that. Like I've looked in the history book recently, and I was like, "This is ass. Like this is terrible. Like it's so many things. They still talk about George Washington chopping down a fucking cherry tree. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, can we talk about the 123 slaves that he owned? Can we talk about
There you
that?
go with the
There you go with that 123 again.
No, but I mean, like, there are so many figures in history that we revere that are like pieces of shit. Like, Thomas Jefferson, right? For all the anti-federalists, but what I'm saying for all the anti-federalist things, all Declaration of Independence, that man is like the most serial rapist of all time. He has to be because look at people's last names. Like, what? You can't have consensual sex with a slave. It's impossible.
Right.
Literally impossible. So,
Right.
it's just so much that I just feel like is left out. And I wish they would really tell about the Taino Indians and how Christopher Columbus slaughtered them all, not just how you floated over here on 3 fucking boats. So shit like
Tell the
that.
real truth about Pocahontas. It wasn't no Disney fairy tale love story.
Actually, that was an interesting one because she actually wanted to go to England, and then like they took all kind of, and then they kind of whitewashed her down too.
They
like,
whitewashed her. She was raped. Like it wasn't all voluntary. It's not this beautiful Disney story. But
no. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when she was over in England because she kind of adopted that lifestyle over there.
And then she died.
She did die. Smallpox, right? Something like that, right?
Leslie.
I mean,
you're not wrong. It was smallpox. That's what got her.
20 yet.
So
yeah.
No, that's crazy.
I just want to tell everybody they should read Caste, The Origins of Our Discontents by Isabel Wilkerson. I read that last year, and she did a phenomenal job of just breaking down like the history of the caste system. She compared it to India's caste system. She gave history and examples of how Hitler modeled his system after the United States system. So it's just a really, really great book about, race and how it is a social construct and everything, and just what we've experienced, throughout our history. So I think everybody should definitely go read Caste because it's a phenomenal book.
Absolutely. No. We'll definitely put that on the reading list. So then I guess the final question, let's end on something positive. I realized we were kind of ending on like a lower note. What is a moment in Black history you would like to see them make a movie out of? That's right. Take a good thought about it.
Do you have one, Tristan? I feel like
I have quite a few. I have quite a few.
Oh gosh, give us some of yours while we're thinking.
Okay, so one of them, so I don't know if you guys know about Iceberg Slim, but Iceberg Slim was a pimp, got his name really big in Chicago, and he has a book that he wrote called Pimp. And in that book, I mean, it kind of is like the bones of hip hop and the bones of like a new genre of book, because he was just telling his stories out there on the streets, and then he put them in terms that people can understand. And then the guy who was editor said, we need a glossary. And he gave him a glossary and broke down all those terms. And low key in the book, he breaks down like cold capitalistic concepts like that are on the street, things that you don't even realize. I mean, Dave Chappelle alluded to it like in one of his specials, like the Bird Revelation. But I would love to see them make a movie about that book, because I understand that, like, we have like kind of this stereotype, but like, let's show really how it was. If we're going to do that, at least let's take a work of art really and do that and kind of make a cinematic masterpiece out of it. And of course, another one is I would love to see a Jack Johnson movie where he knocks the shit out of James J. Jeffries. But
if you say Jack Johnson one more time,
please, if I had $1 for every time
you would have $20. That's it. That's all you would have. Anyway.
I don't know. That's a good question.
So can we do like a time period, or
it can be a time period, it can be whatever. Like I know me, like another one is the Rosa Parks. I'd love to see a movie about the younger Rosa Parks. I feel like a lot of women would be surprised about how active that lady was and just how clever and smart and guiling she was. Because Rosa's a bad lady. If you look like, I'm not talking about the bus shit. I'm talking about her as a younger lady. She did quite a bit of stuff, man.
Not just talking the bullshit, but anyway, I would say for time frame, I would like to see a movie about the Harlem Renaissance.
We've seen that though, but like in what part of the Harlem Renaissance? That's what I'm asking.
I gotta get deep into it.
I mean, not deep, just like what in the Harlem Renaissance when they opened the Apollo. When, like what?
3rd, 19. Oh, that's actually dope as fuck though. The like emergence of the Apollo.
Okay. All right.
Actually. I always wanted to go to the Apollo and go when they're booing somebody on stage.
I mean, you have to go on amateur night. They're not going to do that on any other night but amateur night. Because we can't really boo anybody, and you paid these tickets. Like I paid, now I'm gonna boo you.
The first time I ever seen somebody really get booed is at Howard.
Oh, for sure, I've seen it.
The basketball game, they had like somebody performing in the middle of like the game. I don't know, like halftime, I guess. Everybody was like, "Woo!" Giving the hand and everything. I was like, "Oh my God, he's so sad. What a terrible time in his life." But
everybody gets booed at Howard, though. Everybody gets booed at Howard. Everybody, if you don't come with it, you get booed. Like I'll never forget, dude was on stage and he was like Missy Elliott's protege, and literally he wasn't doing well. He was getting booed. He was like, "Are y'all fucking with me?" The whole audience replied, "I've never seen this happen ever in life and never again." Everybody said no at the same time. Everybody said no, and then he just
heartbreaking.
He did his song and then he just left. And then like he even played a recording from Missy Elliott. Missy Elliott was like, "Yo, this is my boy." Like, well, you should have picked somebody else, girl. It was yeah.
Even a Missy co-sign wasn't enough.
You know, Maxwell got booed at Howard too.
Not the Maxwell.
Yeah, this is before he was Maxwell, clearly, but like, yeah, he got booed.
Oh, this is like back in the day.
Back in like 94, 95.
Oh, okay.
Before his first album, I think, came out, he got booed.
You know, he's our birthday triplet. He got the same birthday as us, twin.
What? No wonder I fuck with him so much. No wonder his Uncle Max. Wow. I don't think I knew that. Thank you for allowing me. That's why I understand why I fuck with him like that.
But Leslie, you ain't answer. We gotta
exactly, because we gotta.
I don't know. You know, I've been trying to think what I want to see. I want to see all these PPP loans. I need a movie made about that, and how I feel like more of the people of color, especially African Americans, are the ones who are, you know, being sent to prison over it versus the white people who we know scam as well. But it's unfair because they get away with stuff that we don't get away with. I'm just saying it. They get away with stuff we don't get away with. And so I just want to see that we said
PPP injustice, fraud and injustice.
Listen.
Every fucking thing. Jeez Louise.
PPP injustice. Okay. Leslie, ever the champion, folks.
Like that. I'm here for it, Leslie. I'm here for it. I would watch it. I'll go to the movies.
Because it's gonna do a deep
a Zola movie, so I'll go to see anything.
Did you go see Zola? Did you go see it?
I did. I paid money.
I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it. But it's gonna do a deeper dive into just the history of like our economic system and how, like, you know, white folks can scam all day long. You know, it's gonna go back to like Wall Street days. It was I forgot his name, was a black man who got caught for like doing some scamming on Wall Street, but he was doing the same type of scamming that white folks get away with all the time. So it's like, it's always us who are getting caught and persecuted for it versus it's just white folks that slap on the wrist, you know? Like, I just want to, you know, do a deep dive into that.
PPP fraud.
Are you gonna call the movie Pushing P?
Fraud and justice.
Pushing P, yes.
That was a joke. That was not something you need to call. No.
Pushing P, the PPP loan scandal.
Clearly, this is time to wrap up. Thank you guys so much for listening to our special episode. Please get in the conversation on this one.
Get them PPP loans.
Look out for Pushing P, produced by
Tell us what you think. Please, in the comments, tweet, email, text us if you are lucky enough to have our numbers. And they should be. Look, and
Pushing P to that jail cell.
I'm so done with y'all. Oh my God. Anyway.
I don't know nothing besides Pushing P either.
I don't think you need to know anything other than that. And honestly, no one can even tell me what that means. So that might actually be accurate. Who the fuck knows?
I can get you hip because, you know, I'm so young. I'll tell you later.
Guys. Until the next time.
Girl, you 30.
Until the next time, y'all. I've been Tris.
It's your girl, Les.
It's not 30-year-old Shauna.
Girl, you know what age you are. Get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
I'm not 30, but Shauna does.
You knocking on the door. It's creaked open.
They ain't let me in yet.
You done poked your head in that room a few times, girl. Stop. Anyway.
Okay.
Either way, y'all. Peace out. And happy Black History Month.
Happy Black History Month.
Bye.